are to meet Danmar and Manfred in Harper's Glade on the southern part of North Dark Wood. Southern part of North Dark Wood. Alright, so let's go there. And a cutscene. And it looks like we're walking toward the glade. And there's everybody waiting for us. Should I or should I not be a harper? The harp has been struck for you, Peldor. It is up to you now to determine whether you will suit your movements to its melody or merely hear and appreciate its song. Do you wish to join those who harp, or would you walk your own path as a harper friend? I would like to become a harper. Then we will test you. Answer from the heart. There's no shame in failure, as you will still be called a harper friend. Not all good folk who walk Faerun need follow our code. Very well, let the test begin. Good, keep in mind that the harpers believe there is never just one right answer to a question, though there are often just as many wrong ones. To begin, what is virtue and what is vice? Oh, I think I remember now from reading out of the book. Virtue is doing what seems right, but staying mindful of the consequences. Vice is the ignorance of consequence. So we harpers say. May we always do as we say. Good. Now for your next question. What is order? What is disorder? Order is the harmony of law and conscience, and disorder is when law and conscience are at odds. Well put. We harpers believe that conscience is indeed the soul of order. Now for your final question. What is love? I think it was this one. Love is the balance of passion and righteousness. What the philosophers call order is what I call love. Love is indeed order, or should be. Congratulations, Peldor. Your answers jibe with the code of the harpers. If code, it can be called. You are now one of us. Many trials await us in the days ahead, but it is now time to celebrate our new fellowship. Let the festivities begin. The twilight seems to last forever tonight. Music and poetry fill the air, and history itself seems alive and joyful among the evening's quests. Ian is happier than you have ever seen her. Her laughter seems to be part of the night's music. She seems especially taken with Manfred's stories. Only Vroman seems less merry than usual. As the party begins to wane, Manfred leads you away from the circle of firelight and into the deep shadows of North Dark Wood. It is now time for us to speak of what is to come. It would be good to have a word with you away from the others. Will you now let me know the story? What is the organization that we harpers oppose? A new cult that calls itself the Risen Sun. They are the ones who drove the Zentarum from Darkhold. I have heard of this cult, and half suspected they might be involved. Ah, yes, Brother Anselm told me that he had given you some information regarding them. He would know, in fact. Listen well. The risen sun worships Amunator, an old solar deity of the lost Netherese Empire. The cult claims that Lathander is to die and be reborn as Amunator. Versions of this idea have been around for centuries, but a man named Delagoth Orndir has recently claimed that the time is nigh, and has even dropped hints that he embodies a new god. I have heard of Delagoth. He was recently excommunicated, right? Yes, I was getting to that. Go on. The Marsenberg conclave of Lathander's church excommunicated Delagoth. Enraged, he gathered his followers, who grow in number every day, and hold them to follow him from Elversult into the Sunset Mountains. We now know that they are the ones who drove the Zents from Darkhold. It seems almost absurd that Delagoth, his priests, and any army of converts could storm the fortress, but they used the Cyricists and Banite factions against each other. Why do we need to oppose them? What does Delagoth preach? They claim that Almunator is supreme among gods, that all who do not believe in him will perish. Their zeal threatens a balance, and their actions could have consequences of untold magnitude. Delagoth has, after all, performed miracles that seem real enough, and of course they want me. The cult pursues you. Why? Before I referred to something ahead that they sought. Indeed, when I discovered this thing deep beneath the sands of Anarok, in the buried Netherese library of Neverwinter, I knew that it was my doom. I am a rather good diviner, you know. I have now read my doom over and over again. Still, I read it nightly. It is like a poignant, tragic story one rereads for pleasure, despite the fact that the ending, as is always the way with tragedy, destroys all hope. My story is already told, and I have no freedom with which to change it. You have seen your future? I have seen my death. You, my friend, will be there when the time comes, as will Vroman. Please do not tell him. If I have seemed cold to him, unbrotherly, it is because I do not know how to talk to him, knowing what I know. He has already seen me dead once. What is this accursed thing that has given you this vision of death? I cannot speak of that to you yet, but it is important for you to know that I have something the enemy wants. All will be clear as harp song, soon enough. Why do I tell you this? I could say that you have earned my trust, but you see, fate conspires with circumstance. The only person I can tell these things to is you. It is no accident that the harpers have found you, or that they have found the harpers. If one thinks of the history of the Faerun as music, as a song, then we are part of the same motif, perhaps the same chord. Before you can respond, Manfred whispers something to you. You hear the word and then see it as if it were light in a great darkness. And then you hear it, not as a word but as music. Sleep overcomes you. You remember nothing else. Sleep overcomes me. You slept quite soundly, Peldor. Elverquist will do that, I guess. The others left before any of us woke. As you can see, they left no trace of themselves. Now that you are one of them, I'm surprised to find that you didn't vanish in thin air too. I would not vanish without your leave, my lady. Like the best thing in life, that goes without saying. Ian hands you a neatly bound scroll. Danmar left this for you. I suppose it tells us what to do now. The evergreens in this part of the wood make one sleep so well. It has been so long since I had such a beautiful sleep. I almost dread returning to adventuring. I am unsure whether I am ready for any more excitement. Manfred lives, and yet He has behaved strangely toward me, don't you think? I hardly spoke to him. Do not worry, Roman. Manfred cares about you very much. Very well, let's get moving. Okay, so we have Danmar's letter. Let's take a look what we got here. Danmar's letter. Greetings, we have business to attend to in Verdusk. Though we hope to see you again before long, return to drawn swords and speak to Hamfast. There are some loose ends that still need tying in this region, as you will soon find out. Signed, Danmar. Alright, let's see, any journal updates? Okay, it looks like that... Yeah, the war quest is now updated now and completed. I am now a harper. After the party celebrating my new friendship, Manfred took me aside and told me some grim news. The Risen Sun, a cult that believes that the god Lathander is to be reborn as Amunator, is responsible for the turmoil in the area and the conquest of Darkhold. Apparently they pursue him because of something he discovered, something important to them in his researches in Anarok. Manfred also told me that he has foreseen his death. Strangely, the last thing I remember of the night is him whispering something to me, but I forget what that thing was. I woke in North Dark Wood with my companions, but there was no sign of the other harpers or last night's party. According to the note from Danmar that Ianth gave me, we are to return to drawn swords and speak with Hamfast, who will tell us what to do next. I am now a harper, and as such I believe the following code. Yep. And the Risen Sun has not updated, so... Let's see, where are we here? We are in this area, so let's get out of here. We gotta head down to here. So let's head back to the inn. As you enter town, you see Hamfast approaching you. He has a troubled look on his face. Hey, it is good to see you. Just in time, Peldor, as usual. Are you one of them now? Indeed, Hamfast, I am now a harper. Congratulations, I guess. Though I suppose this means that you'll be facing and causing even more problems than ever. I have one for you right now, if you'll listen. It's Brother Anselm. He's been locked up inside his house for well over a few days. I just stopped banging on the door myself. No one's seen him about. He said he was ill. I fear the worst. What do you think happened to him? If he was ill, he could have gotten the fever and died. But he was a healer himself. I fear he might have done himself in. I have a skeleton key for the doors here in town. But Manfred and Danmar let me know that Anselm was mixed up with some queer business. It wouldn't be my place. I don't think whatever he was involved in had anything to do with the Zentarum, nor those traitor acolytes of his either. That other group that Manfred mentioned, maybe. Something else. Harper business, not my business. Hamfast hands you a key. Take this and find out what's happened to him. As I said, I fear he might have killed himself, so be prepared. What makes you think that Brother Anselm would have done such a thing? Danmar and Manfred told me he was conflicted about something or other. That surprised me. Always seemed like a man of peace with himself to me. Come tell me right away when you find something out. Very well, we will talk soon. Alright. So I assume this would be his house, because that was Hamfast's house, and that was a store. So we got a journal update. Hamfast approached us as we entered drawn swords. He told us to check up on Brother Anselm, who locked himself in his house days ago, saying he was ill. His house is right beside Astercord's store. Alright, let's see. Does this... Yeah, Harper stuff. What does this do for me? You're a Harper. Freedom, balance, simplicity, and a devotion to their protection guide you. Your motives might not always be obvious, your path not always sure, but the ends you work for are as clear as harp song night. didn't give me anything spectacular, though. Okay, still 7th level wizard. Okay. Alright, let's go in and see what's going on here. Here we are. Uh-oh. Yep. Brother Anselm dead. We got a portrait, we got a book. Let's look at his body. Portrait. Beneath this portrait is the following inscription. Just as material fire refines gold, so this most sacred fire consumes and destroys everything that is mortal in our souls. Blood-spattered note. Note found near Anselm's corpse. Journal entry update. Let's see what the note says. To the champions of drawn swords. You want to know who did this, don't you? Meet me at the Zentarum encampment in North Dark Wood, where Hamfast Berenson will be next. BMT. North Dark Wood at the Zent encampment. So I guess that's where we go to next. Let's look at the journal. We found a note near Brother Anselm's corpse from some party signing itself BMT. It said that we should rendezvous with him at the Zentarum encampment in North Dark Wood, north. If we do not want the same thing to happen to Hamfast, we should make our way there soon, but first we should tell Hamfast the news. Okay, so that's where we go next.